Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to see our fifth chapter, environmental changes and business opportunities. Okay, this is very important chapter from your exam point of view. Let us discuss about it. Okay. Okay, environmental challenges. Now see, in this world we can see there are lots of challenges that we are going to face in future as well, and in present also we are facing, and in the past also we have faced a lot of challenges. Now the challenges can be anything. Okay, the challenges can be the competition, the challenges can be the environmental problems such as pollutions, right? Population, poverty, employment. Unemployment is also one of the important factor that we are facing the problem, right? So these all are the challenges that we are facing. Okay. Now if you see from the past, there are lots of things that has gone wrong from our point of view, from our economical point of view. Okay, if you see from the economical point of view, definitely we are facing a lot of problem. Even today also we are called as an underdeveloped country, not as a developed country. Why it is so? Because there are several problems that we are facing, and the problem cannot be able we cannot able to cope up with that problem. The problem can be the poverty, the problem can be the population, the problem can be the environmental factors, the problem can be uh, the competition that we are facing, the problem can be a migration, right? There are lots of state which is not developed, so the people from that stage they are coming in different state, in another state to for the survival, right? So these all are the things that is happening in our country now. In practically also we can see that the state like Bihar, right? Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, there are lots of employees, lots of people from that state, they are coming into the Maharashtra for the sake of living, right? So that is also one of the important problem that we are facing, and we have to solve all this problem, because these problem are um, very very critical problem. And in future, if it is happening like this only, the future cannot be a good one. I mean to say, from that point of view, because there should be a economical balance, economical development balance, but it is not in a good condition. So so there are other problems such as malnutrition, there are other problems such as feminism, right? There are other problems such as preference, right? So the male child preference as compared to the female child preference, this can also be a headache for us, for the economical development point of view, because lots of people in our country, in our society also, they are preferring male child only as compared to female child. So these kind of things is happening in our country, and we have to solve all this problem. There are issues like animals also. Now I mean to say, now see, animals is also having the feelings, right? Because the rise of unconscious of animal right issues, we now understand that animals too have a sense of perception, the feel of pleasure and pain. They also have emotions and happiness and suffering. They lead to us to the extent moral values to animals. Upon reflection, we understand that these animals possess unconsciousness. Okay, so all these are the things, and we should have to solve these problems also. Then living organism, right? Now if you see from the ethical point of view, now Hindu scriptures, saints, or we can say traditional, have also been upheld by uncertainty of the living organism. The principle is that compassion must be shown in all the living forms because they have life. If there is so, human beings should not be in even allowed to breathe for fear or destroying any organisms that are a part of atmosphere. Now over here you can see the differentiation in the caste criticism. This is also one of the important factor, right? uh, uh, before independence also we are facing a lot of problem, right? Because British came to rule India. At that point of view also, there are casteism thing is happening. Now after British gone to their state, even though also we are facing the problem, because there are lots of um, caste and creed issues are there, right? There are lots of things which is not in our hand, we cannot able to control individually. So it is really harmful for the society, and what we have to do, we have to solve all this stuff in a proper manner. Okay. Now, environmental challenges, as we are seeing that there are lots of environmental challenges that we are facing now. From the global point of view, there are lots of environmental challenges. The challenges may be the atmosphere challenges, the challenges may be the population, the challenge may be the pollution, right? Now you can see the Iceland. Okay, the Iceland from the earth, it is also reducing day by day, right? Lots of Iceland, they are melting, and due to which we are facing the problem. I mean, it is also harmful for the atmosphere as well. Okay, so all this stuff is very much important from our point of view, and we have to solve all this stuff. Okay, so these all are the problems that we are facing now. Environmental challenges as business opportunities. Now, if you look at the sustainable development as corporate strategy, sustainability of the business strategy is no more strange subject for corporation. Okay, there are n number of new millionaires. Corporators are realizing that in less than the decade time before 2020, they would have to manage resources sustainability with advanced technology according to their customer wants. Customer want a pollution free environment, so industries have to change the way of manufacturers. Okay, in order to do this, they need to use clean technologies demand clean energy, and clean energy lies on traditional sources of coal and oil, but in the sun, wind and hydrogen. Okay, so we have to manage all these things now. See, at this stage, technological, this is the technological world. Okay, and lots of the transaction that we are doing, we are doing with the online, and online is the important factor at this stage. Okay, in today's world, online plays an important role. You don't need to go even shop also if you want to purchase anything. Okay, there are lots of websites are available through which you can purchase any kind of goods. Okay, so these helpful for the customers, helpful for the people, those who need the things in their doorstep. Okay, so this also help to reduce the pollution, this also helps to reduce our time as well. So we can do the online transaction, which has been helpful for us to do the transaction very quickly, and we cannot we can able to do that with the given time span. I mean to say, we don't have to travel a lot, we don't have to waste time. Okay, so these all are the important factors. Now, business ethics and corporate governance. Sustainability in the ethical principle that underlies the ethical and intelligent source of resources. Companies, the value of goods, corporates practices scale higher the estimation of the customers. Now, customers have to realize that to putting stress on environmental and societal interest through corporate governance, they have to increase their customer base and customer loyalties. Now, see, advantages of emerging economics. Now, see, they have divided these industrial factors with four important countries. Okay, with the help of these four important countries, they want to show that there are things which is available in their countries, they don't need to go anywhere. Okay, now take an example of our country, India. India is having a wireless internet access. Now, the natural advantage that we are getting, we can see from this: Midas Communication Technological Private Limited and Analog Device, etc. of the US developed wireless in a local loop in China, which is a leapfrog telephone and internet connectivity in India, thereby eliminating costly writing and accessories such as a modem. This technology is now adopted around the world. Okay, so this is also an important advantage. Now, if you see the country like Thailand, the industry is more effective, that is called as pharmaceutical industry. Okay, development of the new drugs to most resident malaria has been acclaimed by the WHO. Now they are getting a benefit of drugs manufacturing, okay, with the help of this pharmaceutical company which is available in the country like Thailand. Now the next one is Brazil. Okay, in Brazil you can see they are very much effective in personal hygiene. Okay, natural and cosmetic company of Brazil, in collaboration of UN global compact, to create a natural personal hygiene product. The company support environmental restoration program in Brazil. So they are getting a benefit of personal hygiene. Okay, now the country like Bangladesh and India, now microcredit. Okay, two idea originated in Bangladesh, very small credit in group of poor willing entrepreneur, mostly women, as self-help. Okay, microcredit has been a best repayment reputation, which is the big business are yet to learn and have no help a million to poor people around the world and empower them economically. Now see, the country like Bangladesh and the country like India, okay, they are the best one to provide a good services in the field of microcredit. Okay, for the small entrepreneurs and for the self-help group people, those who require the money, they are getting a very good help with the help of this microcredit bank. Okay, which is being very effective in the country like Bangladesh and India. Okay, so these all are the advantages of emerging economics. Okay, now shifting natural of competition in emerging economics. Now see, as far as the uh, world economy, there is no competition in the industries of the developed world. Now see, developed country, I mean to say the developed country which is our which is there in our world. Take an example of European countries or American countries, right? They are called as a developed nation, and you can see they are having a very effective technologies, right? And they are providing a very good services to the people those who are living in that country, right? You can take an example of USA. People are very much their standard of living is also very good. Even if you go to the European countries, they are also having a very good standard of living. But if you go to the country like Africa, even in the Asia, some of the countries like Asia which is not a developed nation, there you can see they are facing a lot of problem. Why it is so? Because the governance, the government policies, right? Because even though we can see we have got independence in the year 1947, but even today also we are facing a lot of problem. Why it is so? Because we have not made a proper effective governments. Okay, we have left the Constitution of India, I mean to say we have left a lot of acts. We have also following the government rules and regulation, but even though we are not able to grow ourselves in the field of development, in the field of development of the nation, right? Why it is so? Because we are not properly following the rules and regulation, right? That's why we are facing the problem, right? Right, we are not following the proper rules and regulation. That's why we are facing the problem, and due to which are in the we are in the position to not able to get a good standard of living, right? In India we can see there are lots of people those who are living very effectively because they are having a very good job, they are having a very good salary, their purchasing power is also good, they are having very good house, so they are they are able to standardize their living. But there are lots of people, there are lots of people group is there, those who are not in a good condition. I mean to say they don't have two times money to eat, two times food to eat, right? They are not getting money daily, they are not getting wages daily, they are not getting a salary also. Now you can see the current scenario of lockdown, they are facing a lot of problem, and we are not in a position to increase our uh, uh, remuneration. Why it is so? Because we don't have a job actually, right? That's why they are facing the problem, they don't have the job. And due to this, they are facing a lot of problem. And what we have to do, what we have to see from the government side, that we have to Okay, so these all are the problems that we are facing, and what we need to do, we need to see all this stuff, right? Now let us discuss with the development factors in our country, economical and business opportunities. Now development factors such as increased productivity and product differentiation, lean linking and total quality management, uh, ethically environmental and responsible investment, risk reduction. So all these are the development factors. Now if you look at the drivers of these development factors, they are the economical and business opportunities. Then the second one is population. Okay, population decrease the development economics and increase the emerging economics. Okay, population decrease the development economics and increase emerging economics, urbanization and migration. Okay, this is the biggest problem that we are facing now. See, India is a country where we are having more than 140 crores population. Okay, at this stage. And if you compare with the urban area and rural area, there are huge difference. Urban area is really a developed area where you can see facilities are available, but in rural area it is not so. So lots of people from the urban area, they tend to migrate themselves in the rural area, and due to which the people they are not in a position to standardize their living because they don't have money. They don't have that much of courage to settle in that urban area because the because the prices of the land is also very high. They cannot afford to take a flat in urban area, right? So for the sake of jobs, for the sake of employment, they are coming in the urban area. And this kind of shiftment from the rural area to the urban area is happening. So what we have to do, we have to solve this kind of problem. And urbanization is a good factor, but migration, all the times migration is happening, that is not a good sign. So over here we have to make a sustainable development in each and every area, right? In each and every state there should be a sustainable development, and this thing should be this thing should be done. Then the next one is technology. Clean technology and clean technology and uh, renewable energy. Okay, proper technological advancement should be there. Okay, now see, now lots of private organization are there, they are doing a proper development in each and every field. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to increase our standardization. And how can we increase our standardization? By having a proper goal settlement. Okay, we have to see that the industrial development should be occur in each and every state, in each and every area. So for there should be a clean technological development. Okay, the development should be there in each and every area, then only that particular area progress can be done. Okay, economical development in that particular area can be done. Okay, so proper technological development should be there. Okay, then environmental crisis. Now see, restoration, natural capital management, environmental disaster. Now see, there are lots of environmental disasters are occurring. Okay, you also know that flood, drought. Okay, sometimes fire kind of things is also happening in the uh, in in agricultural land. So this kind of things is also happening. So how we can solve the problem? By having a proper management of this activity. Okay, management of environmental disaster should be done properly and effectively, then only we can able to solve this problem. Then inequality. Now see, uh, inequalities are there, refugees are there, trade barriers are there, right? If you want to purchase any kind of product from the outside our country, we have to pay the taxes, right? So there is a burden on the private companies, private organization also. So they are also facing such kind of things, such kind of problems. So we also have to solve such kind of problem. Then ethics, staying ahead of regulation, corporate best practices, ethical investigation, marketing. These all are the things due to which we can make a progress in the organizational development. Okay, proper marketing, proper following of the ethical rules and regulations. Okay, by each and every country, each and every company, then definitely it is also helpful for the economical development point of view also. Okay, so these all are the drivers for the sustainable development of emerging economics. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the increasing profitability and minimizing risks. Now see, in the country there are lots of things which is happening such as competition, right? If you're a owner of the company, definitely you have to do a proper market research of the product, right? You have to see the rivalries. Who are the rivalries of our for our company, right? You have to make a proper survey, then only you can start your production of goods. So you have to see all these kind of things. Now you also have to see whether the condition is good for the making business or not, because nowadays there are lots of problems that is happening. As we can see, the COVID-19 kind of situation is also there, right? The proper purchasing power in a particular area should also be there, right? If you are opening your business in the rural area, definitely you will not going to get a more response for your product. Definitely there will be not more demand for your product. So this kind of things is also being happening. So you also have to solve such kind of things, such kind of problems. Now, role of government. Okay, let us see the role of government. Without better policies and institutions, social environmental sustain may delay development progress, leading to higher poverty levels and decline in the quality of lives of everybody. Misguided policies and weak governance in the past decades have contributed to environmental disaster, income inequality, and social upheavals of some countries, often resulting in the deep devaluation, riots, and refugees feelings, and feminism and civil wars. So all these are the things that the government should also have to solve. Now, about the World Bank report 2003 expressed the magnitude of the responsibility of government bears a public policy making a policy implementation. In India, in the year 1977, Article 48A have introduced through the 42 Amendment. It states that the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environmental and to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. Social serious environmental concerns were being expressed since 1970. In 1972, the UN organized the conference in Stockholm, which began to dare not declining that there may be barely a decade more left to improve the human environment. Indeed, it makes sense only to efforts and to make all the stockholders that calls for the participation of all nations of people. Only they can work together, they will be able to solve to save the planet. So there is a serious problem which is happening for the environmental protection. Now, even the government has taking a lot of efforts. Even the World Bank report in 2003, they have also made some amendments for the safeguard of the environment and the forest and wildlife also. So these all are the efforts that the government is taking for the sake of making a proper safeguard for the environment. Okay, and we also need to see that the our environment should not be get polluted. Okay, nowadays due to this COVID-19 situation, the environmental problem little bit has been solved, because the pollution kind of things is really reduced a lot due to this COVID kind of situation. But even in future also, we have to see all this stuff. We also have to reduce such kind of problems in the upcoming days. So we need to see that such kind of things should not be happen in the upcoming days, and we need to solve such kind of problems. Okay, so that is also our responsibility to see such kind of things should not be happen in future. Now we are going to discuss about the facts and the acts passed by the environmental protection. Okay, now the acts and functions that we are going to discuss. Now see, 42 amendment, state responsibility, right and duties of the citizens, functions. Okay, these all are the functions that we have to look at it. Okay, first one is 42 amendment. State responsibility is right and duties of the citizens. Over here they have they have given more focus on the state responsibilities. Okay, what is the responsibility of the state, that we should know. Okay, each and every state is having their own rules and regulation. Okay, because it comes under the head of the state government. So the state government have to, have to set a good priorities, have to set a good rules and regulation for the development of the state, for the development of the environment. Okay, then the Indian Forest Act 1927, although prior to this independence and the 42th amendment, it was to be ruled in the new light of amendment of the direction of the court. Now over here they have given more focus on the clearance of the road. Okay, and the new light amendment over here, they have in this amendment, they have made a little bit of changes. They have clearly told that in each and every road there should be a lighting. Okay, because at the night time the travelers should not get any kind of hesitation while driving the car or while driving the vehicle. Okay, now the third one is called as Factories Act 1948. Amendment were made in the year 1987 for the counter of hazardous industrial waste. The local authorities has empowered to take action. The manager of the factories could be held responsible in the Factories Act 1948. Then the next one is Automatic Energy Act 1962. The control radiation protection rules in which regard was formed in 1971. The central government is empowered to take the action on this control radiation protection, which is given in the year 1962. Okay, now Insecticides Act 1968. Okay, it was enacted after the several cases of food poisoning in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The Central Insecticides Board has been established. It is supposed to be monitor pesticides reduce. Okay, it has become very important as more and more cases of pesticides are to be found in soft drinks, food stuff, and even in the bottled water. Okay, there are lots of malnutrition kind of things is happening, and the food poisoning things is happening in the state of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So what the board has decided to make a new act. So the Insecticide Act 1968 has been formed. Okay, and it has become very very much important because such kind of things is being happening in our country. So they have made a very good changes in such kind of things, so that this kind of things should not be happening in future. Okay, then the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972 they have formed. Wildlife Advisory Board established in the state, established in of park and sanitizers sanctuaries. The hunting regulation protection of endangered species. The act has amended in the year 1962, pertaining a capture and transportation of the wild animals for the scientific management of their pollution. Okay, this Wildlife Protection Act they have formed. Then the Water Prevention and the Control of Population Act 1974 came into the existence after the decade of deliberation. The central and the state water board work in tandem and enforce affluent standards. Amendment in 1988 suffer empowered the board to impose strategic penalties. Now over here the water prevention is very much necessary. Okay, nowadays you can see the people, they are not getting a proper water for the drinking also. So they are facing a lot of problems, so due to which they have made a establishment of new act as for the Water Prevention and the Control of Population Act 1970s 74 has been formed, and they have made little bit of changes, and they have made a little bit of amendments. Amendment means the changes in the act, and in 1988 they have also made some kind of changes, and they have also came with the new standalone penalties. Okay, then the Water Prevention and the Control of Population ceases Act 1977. This act has been formed for the sake of the environmental, for the sake of the population control. Okay, this act is very much necessary to impose a good things. Okay, then the Forest Conservation Act in 1980 to stop rapid reforestation. Amendment in 1988 to make it necessary for the states to get central permission for the purpose of non forest use. Okay, in the Act 1988 they have made a little bit of amendments. Then next one is Air Prevention and Control of Population Act 1981, to impose the decision of the international bodies such as UNO, so as to integrate the global approach by the facilities. So they have made this kind of act also for the sake of the development of this air pollution. Then next one is Environmental Protection Act 1986. You also very well known about the Bhopal gas leakage. Okay, this Bhopal gas leakage plays an important role. I mean, we have faced a lot of problem with this Bhopal gas leakage. Okay, and as per this act, this act defined as a explanation of all the aspect of the environmental, like earth, water, forest, animal, organism, microorganism. It defined environmental, population, and hazardous substances. In 1989, it concentrate hazardous substances, chemicals, waste on their regulations. The details of last penalties was made to be specific in this act. Okay, this act is very much helpful for protecting the environment. Okay, the Environmental Protection Act 1986, they have formed for the sake of the environmental protection. Okay, and this Bhopal gas leakage strategy, which is happening in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, lots of people has died because of this Bhopal gas leakage. So what we have to do, we have to solve such kind of problems, and we need to solve this problem for the sake of making a development of the state. Okay, because these kind of things is happening unfortunately, and those who are the defaulters over here, they should get penalized, they should get punishment. So that's why this act has been formed, and with this act you can able to find out the solutions as well, where we have gone wrong, why this kind of things is being happening in the environment. So this Environmental Protection Act is very much necessary to provide a proper feedback and proper guidance. Okay, so down the next one is the environmental policy. Okay, the National Environmental Policy, NEP. अरे लेक्चर घेतोय मी, थांब ना 5-10 मिनिटं. अरे लेक्चर घेतोय मी. Okay, environmental policy, environmental policy, National Environmental Policy 2004 was realized by the Ministry of Environmental and Forest, MOEF, as a draft. The public discussion and debate has been going on. The objectives are conservation and critical environmental resources, the intra-generation equality, livelihood, safety for the poor, integration of environmental concern and the economical and social development, efficiency of environmental resources use. Environmental governance. So the National Environmental Policy 2004 was realized by the Ministry of Environment and Forest as a draft. The public discussion and the debate has been going on. The objectives are conservation of critical environmental resources, intra-generability equality, livelihood security for the poor, integration of environmental concern in economic and social development, efficiency of environmental resources use, environmental governance. So all these are the important stuff for the environmental policy, for the environmental development policy. Okay, now the resources like finance, technology, management skills, traditional knowledge, and social capital has been enhanced for the environmental conservation. There are some fundamental principles and assumption to attain the goal. The foremost principle and the eradication of poverty and the empowerment for the poor, for for all have a right development. Sustainable and right development are the two watchwords. Governance for justice making for the populator pay are the key for the operators. Now over here they have given a more focus on the environmental. Okay, now the environmental policy has been formed in the year 2004 for the by the Ministry of Environmental Forest, and they have given more focus on the environmental growth. Okay, because in some of the states, the environmental protection is not being done well. So they have given guidelines for the sake of making a proper environmental development. Now see, there are few problems which are called as a hurdle for the sustainable development. Take an example of eradication of poverty. Poverty is the biggest problem that we are facing. Poverty is happening just because of lots of unemployed people are there in our country. So we need to solve that problem also. How we can able to solve that problem? How we can able to solve that problem? By providing a proper education facilities, right? In each and every state, they are facing a lot of problem, and due to which that state growth is not going to be there. So what we have to do, we have to make a proper growth in a particular state, then only our state can grow. So for that reason, the government has to take a good the government has to make a proper development. Okay, the government is not making a proper development, that's why they are facing a problem. And over here the governmental development plays an important role. If you want to develop our nation, you have to see that the government rules and regulations should be properly intact, and it should be properly done by the by the people, those who are there in the government, right? So it is in our hand, because we are the person those who are going to give the vote for our leader. So we have to choose a proper person, those who are there in the those who are there for the sake of helping the people. Okay, so we are there to choose our leader. So we are having a right in a form of vote to choose a leader. Okay, so it is in our hand also, because we are the person those who are giving the preference for the choosing of the leader. If you choose a proper leader, definitely our environment can grow properly, we can get a good employment opportunities, we can able to reduce our poverty in our particular area. So each and every state should also have to focus on the focus on focus on having a good leader, right? Then only their progress can be done. Okay, so proper maintenance of the leader should also be into the hand of the people only, those who are living in that particular region. So they can help to reduce the poverty by providing a proper employment opportunities, right? They should also give more focus on the education facilities also. So these all are the things that we should able to find out. Okay, so so we have to we have to solve all this stuff, and it is our responsibility to solve this stuff. And how can we solve the stuff? By having a proper environmental policy. Okay, now the national environmental policy 2004, they have released in the Ministry of Environmental and Forest, that is called as MOEF, as a draft. The public discussion and the debate has going on, and they have given a proper objectives also: intra-general equality, livelihood, security of the people, security for the people. Okay, now there are lots of NGOs are there in our country, those who are helping for the poor people, right? Due to which the poor people are getting a more benefit, right? The poor people, they are getting a more benefit of having a proper and the poor people are getting more benefit by these NGOs, because the NGOs people, they are providing foods, they are also providing shelter, they are also providing the clothes, due to which they can able to get a good I mean to say good facilities, at least for the sake of the survival, right? So they are also getting a good benefit of it. So all this stuff should be managed by the interstate only. If the state is able to managing this all this stuff, then definitely the state is called as a developed state. You can take an example of Maharashtra, you can take an example of Gujarat. Okay, all the western state, they are performing very well as compared to the eastern state, right? If you see the state like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, you can see a lot of problems are there in that state, right? Lots of people from that state, they are migrating themselves in the state like Gujarat and Maharashtra, right? For the sake of growth, for the sake of livelihood, for the sake of education, for the sake of employment, right? So this kind of things is happening. And you can see the poverty rate in the state like Bihar, Jharkhand, and you can see the state like Uttar Pradesh. There are lot of people those are living below poverty. There are a lot of people, those are facing the problem of malnutrition. Okay, so what we have to see, we have to make a proper arrangement of it, where they also have to deal with it. Okay, so all these are the things, and we should also have to solve such kind of problems. So it's our responsibility to see all this stuff. Okay, so from my side, I have cleared the fifth chapter also. Okay, in the upcoming days we are going to see the sixth chapter, that is called as national thought of business, national thoughts for business. Okay, this is our sixth chapter, national thoughts for business. Okay, in the upcoming lecture we are going to discuss this Indian thoughts for business. Anyone is having any kind of doubt? I think from my side I have clarified each and everything. Okay, so I don't think so anything is remaining at this stage, right?